Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, principal of Simply Improve Health, and I help people to train better and longer and recover more quickly, have improved sleep, and enjoy better quality of health using simple plant-based and native to the body products and simple techniques. This evening's live came as the result of a contact with a client recently, or not even a client, exactly. Say it was somebody who was making inquiries and decided to take advantage of my free mini consultation. And at the end of the consultation, not only did the gentleman actually get the information he was looking for, and i.e., to be able to understand some dreams he had been having, but I also found a kindred spirit and in a sense of validation of the new track that my life is taking. And um, that was a good thing to have happen, because sometimes I'd sit here and wonder, am I doing the right thing? I was a banker for 20 years and worked for a charity, delivering complementary therapies for another 15. And I finally decided to strike out on my own several years ago. And as anybody out there watching knows, if you're starting up a business, it's not easy. You have to put in lots of hours and give up lots of stuff sometimes to be able to make a success of it. And my doubts didn't come from my ability to be able to make a successful business and to a sustainable business, but my doubts and fears were centered around what it is that I was presenting to others. Would they find it valuable? Is it too far out for people? Um, will they like it? Will they like me? Will they buy into what I have to offer? And this consultation actually, as I said, gave me a sense of validation around that. And it made me realize that you have to trust in your vision, number one, and you have to believe in yourself and your ability to be able to see that vision through. If you don't trust and believe in yourself, who is going to trust and believe in you? And I say that with a little bit with a tongue in cheek, for the simple reason that it was other people who believed in me that gave me the ability to finally believe it for myself. So it's not always the self-belief is always naturally instilled in us or being expressed by us. Sometimes it has to be brought out of us by other people, by having that support mechanism around. And here's where I give a little shout out to my wise women and men who provide one of the circles of support around me. And there were others as well. I mean, people who are fellow network marketers like me. Um, that's another circle that enfolds me and allows me to have that trust and self-belief to be able to be a success. And it's starting to pay off. Um, it may only be little mini consultations for now, but what is important to me is not just the fact of earning a living. I mean, I was a banker. I was making scads of money and going on holiday twice a year. I can't do that now, but I'm much happier because I trust now and have the self-belief that what I have to offer is of value to people. And I have to I'm talking to upwards of 30 people a day now, as I've gotten more exposure and people are sharing my posts and other information with other people. And I thank you all for doing that. Keep doing it. But the biggest and most important thing that was for me was to have that shift, which actually, to be honest, in 2 months, it will be exactly a year since that shift occurred for me. When I went on a retreat, which I've talked about several times over several different lives, it was a seminal moment for me because I had the space and the time and the people around me to be able to develop that self-trust and belief and that faith in myself that my particular talent, which is unusual, I have to admit, being able to interpret dreams is not something that everybody will necessarily admit to or be able to do. But it is something that once I finally embraced that talent that I've been blessed with, sometimes cursed with, but blessed with most of the time, that my life has begun to flourish because not only am I doing what I'm meant to be doing, instead of hiding it away and shying away from it and pretending it didn't exist, I'm less stressed. I'm happier. And happiness, let me tell you, ladies, happiness is like a magnet for men or for a partner. You know, men, same thing. I mean, if you are happy, if you are in a space where you're at peace with yourself and doing what is right for you to be doing, your life flows. It's almost scary how easily it flows because you're not trying to push water uphill. You know, and if you've ever tried pushing water uphill, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just going with the flow and being who you are and remembering that and keeping that vision of that highest vision of yourself is the only way you're going to be a success, whether you're talking about your business or you're talking about your life, because it gets old real quick when you're pretending to be someone enjoying something that you are not and do not enjoy. So why waste all of that vital energy that could be used to be creating something else that is more in keeping with who you are? It doesn't make sense. It's not logical to to keep up that pretense. It's very, first of all, it's exhausting. Second of all, people will learn not to trust you because you will never be showing your authentic face to them. So having the faith and trust in yourself to be able to um, present yourself as you are and be comfortable with that, which is difficult. I admit it's putting yourself out there and perhaps feeling very, very exposed. But if you're consistent in the message that you put out there, the people that are drawn to that energy, to that message, will come to you. And that's what I've been discovering, over the last couple of days. And I laugh. I know the people who are interested and the ones who are not. When I tell them what I do, stress management and working in network marketing and developing an online course on dream interpretation. And the ones who don't get it or think it's ridiculous, they'll say, how interesting. And I not there, and that's fine. That's no problem. I mean, hopefully we were able to maintain a conversation and relationship around other things. But the few pearls that I get in are people who are genuinely interested and make inquiries about the course or maybe book a mini consultation. So, like I said at the beginning of this, is that it was an outward validation of what inwardly I already know to be true, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and not at war with myself because head says I need to be doing this and heart says something else. I was, like I said, I was a banker for 20 years on Wall Street and in the city. And I'll tell you a funny story about that. I was on my way to work one day here in London and going to near Canary Wharf. And I hated the journey. I didn't really like the job that I was doing. And I sent up a little prayer and I said, oh, just send me a sign as to whether I should stay in this job or not. Do you know that day I got fired? The first time I ever got fired in my life, and the last. I couldn't believe it. I said, boy, that was a quickly answered prayer. But that moment was one of those moments where I seized that moment and started to move in a different direction in my life. And that's when I did additional training in various therapies, and became a therapist full time. So, and that was more in keeping with who I had been from the time of childhood. And that resonated with me. And the money eventually started to come in. Now I've moved into another area of my life, where I'm no longer doing body work, but I'm doing energy healing, and looking at people's dreams, helping them to sort their dreams and to sort their lives using their dreams. And it's a new venture for me. But the one thing that has carried me through each of the different permutations of my life has been the fact that I had to trust that I was doing, that I knew what was best for me better than anyone else, and to believe that the vision that I held for myself and the vision that I had for what I wished to accomplish could be done. If you don't believe it, nobody else is going to believe it. So I leave that with you, and I put it to you. Are you exercising complete trust and faith in yourself and in what you do? Or are you just going through the motions? Do you have a support network around you that will allow you to be able to trust and believe in yourself? If you don't, why not? And more importantly, what are you going to do about that? So I leave you with those thoughts. If you'd like to give me an answer as to your levels of trust and faith in yourself and whether they need to be increased and how you can do that, leave a message, drop a comment. If you enjoyed what you heard, please leave me some thumbs up, some love hearts, some wows, whatever you like, whatever emojis you like. And if you disagree with what I've said, I'd like to hear from you as well. I'm always ready for a good debate, as long as, doesn't it get too excited or too violent. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.